Can you hear me now? Okay, I think you can hear me loud and clear now. Sorry. Some technical issues, but I mean, that's what happens when you haven't streamed in 2 weeks. I'm back. I'm no longer sick. I mean, still a little bit sick, but not as sick. And hello, people over on Twitch. I see Jaguar, Vexel, and Pathography. Welcome in. And welcome Kratos over on YouTube. My voice is way better now. I may have a little bit of a cough, but I mean, I can just mute it. Is way more manageable. I'm just going to do a little bit of yap because I haven't streamed in 2 weeks, and then we'll jump right into the Specialist Cup Aoe2. But yeah, sadly, I missed quite a bit of the end of the Titans League Community Edition because when I was casting T90 himself, my voice was already quite bad and it got way worse. I was quite sick, but we live on. Salut Nando, it's been a while. Hello, Van. And there's something weird on my overlay. I need to fix it because I don't know what happened. On my end, YouTube chat is getting auto-translated into Portuguese. Like, what? I'm glad you are seeing it normal. I'm just seeing Kratos saying, e aí, está na hora da chávena? And Van saying, olá, Nando, há quanto tempo? It is very weird. Okay, more news. I haven't been streaming a lot because of sickness. And now I'm back at streaming, and my next stream is probably going to be 2 weeks from now. Because next week I'm traveling to Germany, I will be quite busy. So it's like, hey, I'm back. Okay, bye again. It is a busy life, but it is busy with good stuff. The sickness was quite bothersome. I did miss the Portuguese Open. I did watch Grubby's tournament. It was so cool. That was such a freaking cool event. And I think Hera is now organizing like the same style of event, but for Age of Empires. Are you in Hamburg? Oh, no. I'm going to Berlin and Dusseldorf next week. It's gonna be quite a packed schedule. I won't have a lot of free time, sadly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the journey. I have been quite busy, and even when I return to regular streaming, for a while, it's probably going to be one stream per week because I want to focus on finishing my book that I'm writing, my fantasy book. I've been also spending quite a bit of time in working out. I had to pause because I was sick, but today my legs are absolutely killing me because of my workout yesterday, like 120 squats, working on the machines. I'm going to the gym regularly. I want to get in shape. That's what I learned from Red Bull Wolo, is that the best Age of Empires players are all super fit. So now I need to be fit as well. But yeah, I did miss the Portuguese Go Open this weekend. I missed Iberanime. The timing was not very fortunate of my ill. I mean, it never is a good time to get ill, but this was particularly bad. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be healthy, to have energy, and I am excited. Dusseldorf is really nice. I've heard good things about Dusseldorf. I've heard very mixed things about Berlin. Glad to have you back, if only for a moment. True. And I mean, now at least you'll know, because that last time was like, oh, I'm streaming sick, then I vanished for 2 weeks. Now at least when I quote-unquote vanish for 2 more weeks, I will you will know that, okay, he's traveling and he will be back. I want to stream more Go as well, besides Age of Empires, and also Crusader Kings 3. I've been playing a lot of Crusader Kings 3 off stream. The game is such a banger. I was not expecting to enjoy the game that much. It is way more simple than I expected, and I never expected a Paradox game to be Well, Nando got super sick and thought I need to counter the sick with feet. Maybe I think that the reason is actually the reverse. I got sick after I started getting fit, and probably like me starting to work out did mess up my immune system and everything for a while, because when you do changes to your routine, even if they are changes for the better, the body does not like changes. That's the immediate response, but the important thing is to keep that perseverance up. But let's hop on. This is the Specialist Cup. This is a tournament organized by Zardas. It is starting. It started this week, I believe, and higher brackets do have a prize pool, and there's a lot of cool players that have been signing up for this tournament. It is quite a big one. It is, for those of you who don't know, the Specialists Cup special nuance is that there's 4 map pools. One is like water maps, one is like land open, one is hybrid, and one is land closed. And you can sign up just to play on the maps that you want. Man, Graventoss being translated into consegue eventualmente tudo ficará bem. So I need to fix that. I need to fix this freaking outro translate. I have no idea what's causing that. It is so weird. So uncanny. Why do things change? Why? I'm glad that at least you guys are having the correct chat display there. But yeah, let's hop on to the cup, and we are starting. As I said, these attracted quite a bit of professional players, and we are starting at the highest elo. There are players like Tout, Capoch who have signed up. We are starting with Andre versus Running. And Running is one of the professional players of Age of Empires 2, a legend. Andre is also quite a solid player. This is a match of players that are both above 2300 elo. And hello, Suyamagawa, welcome back, Nando. Thank you, glad to have you here. I'm still a little bit sick. I feel like I'm doing... Sometimes I have to take breaks in my own voice. I don't know how long the stream will be, because I got full sick mode, like my body hurt, everything was bad. Now the only thing affected is my voice. It is literally the only thing that I'm suffering. I'm no longer in pain or anything. But voice is something a little bit important for streaming. Good to hear you're feeling better. Thank you, Sugi. Let me just post this here. And yes, we are moving on to the Specialist Cup. This is my first time covering this event. And Andre versus Running. And this is the Continental bracket. The Continental bracket is land open maps. I want to focus on casting those maps. They are my favorites. And we will start on Glacis, which is a map that got quite popular from Red Bull Londinium. And then we have Crownwood and Val da Selva. I haven't seen a lot of Val da Selva yet, because I've been very busy. I didn't accompany a lot of Brazilian Dynasty stuff. I know you already said, but what is so special about this Specialist Cup? Good day, sir. Good day, Zardas. Hope you are feeling better. Okay, the cool thing about the Specialist Cup, you can see the logo there in the corner. Let me copy paste it and make it big so I don't lose the formatting. The logo hides the truth of what the Specialist Cup is. Okay, you can see the logo big here. And the logo is divided into 4 sections. Boaty, Dock, Castle, and Desert. Those 4 sections represent the 4 map types of the Specialist Cup. You have maps that are focused on water, maps that are focused on hybrid terrain, maps that are focused on open land and on closed land. And when you are playing in the Specialist Cup, you are divided between these 4 map styles. This cup is basically 4 cups that are happening at the same time. You can choose as a player that registers, okay, I love all map styles, I'll play in all four cups, but on your performance on one cup won't affect the other. Theoretically, the logo doesn't fit the current categories anymore. Sorry, Sardas, I'm still outdated. I need to do my reading as a caster, you are right. But I am covering the Continental maps today, which are basically open land maps. That's the best description, that's my specialty. If I was competing, I would be going for those. So that's the ones that I'm casting. Basically, while I'm casting these maps, you can see from the map draft behind that they are all maps that are quite open, quite aggressive, my favorite playstyle of the game. And yes, we have Andre versus Runnin to... or let me just go back. To introducing the Specialist Cup. Oh, Nomad, that's the other category. Yes, now there's Nomad. Yes. You are right. Nomad. I forgot. Water hybrid, land, and castle. Yeah. Open land. That I did my research, but then I forgot. What I was going to say is that this tournament, not only is it 4 cups in one, we are also starting to see more and more the lines between Community Cup and Professional Tournament being blurred. Because this tournament has quite a prize pool for the top brackets. I think it's $1,300 divided by the 4 top brackets. Not sure if that's the exact number. I think it is 400 and 300 and something for each top bracket. If I remember correctly, 325, 350. And that causes we have players here. This is a community tournament, but the highest bracket is kind of like an B, C tier event. So it has players like Tout, like Running, like Capoch. So there's a lot of exciting things happening in the higher brackets. But also we have a whole range of brackets. We have our low elo players. We have everyone represented here. And let me move on to the draft then. I think we have our boss here, Zardas. I think I did a good job at presenting the concept and presenting what this cup is about. Let's move on to the drafts. We are starting on Glaces. I am extremely curious about Glaces, about casting Glaces. One of the maps that got popular in Red Bull Londinian, but with a different start. And then we can move to either Crownwood or Valda Silva. In terms of Civs, we had 2P, Persians, and Mongols being banned by Andre, Running ban Kamai, Wei, and Armenians. And then we have Andre picking Magyars randoming into Goths. At this elo, probably the randoming was running out of time. Probably a last minute decision. And like, oh, I want that one. And then you don't find the exact Civ and it randoms into Goths. Then Koreans, Japanese, and Dravidians. A lot of solid Civ choices. Koreans and Dravidians, of course, great skirms. Goths, at this elo, not that common, and especially not in open land maps. Magyars, a superb Civ. On the other side, you have Chinese, Britons. I'm so happy to see Britons being picked more and more. Romans, Jurchens, and Mapuche. Ooh. That's a really cool draft. A little bit of everything. Oh, it's not best of 5, it is a play all 3. I forgot to say that. Thank you for the question. That means that we are going to see all 3 Civs, all 3 maps played, and only one of the Civs won't get played because they have a snipe at the end. They can remove 1 Civ for the opponent out of the draft. So Japanese and Romans were removed. We have 4 Civs for 3 maps. Starting on Glaces, what would I go for? Maybe Koreans versus Chinese? I think I would go Koreans versus Chinese to open it up. Okay, and I have the Civs here. I want to jump into the game I want to cast. And it's not Koreans versus Chinese, it is Dravidians versus Chinese. Let's hop onto the game and see how the action goes. I am extremely excited to see what these 2 players have in store for us tonight. Hello everyone, and welcome on in to the Specialist Cup. This is a tournament hosted by our lovely Zardas, who sadly is sick but is here in chat, and we are today playing on the Continental map pack. This competition is divided into 4 maps. This is the open land maps, and this is the Warlord bracket, the strongest bracket of this division. So we have 2 extremely solid players sitting at roughly 2300, 2500 elo. In the north side of Glacis, we have Runin, who is leading the Chinese to war. And in the south, we have Andre, who is commanding the Dravidians. This is Glacis. You start with the stone walls. You start with... you don't start with a dock. Dravidians just added the dock quite early on. Of course, the Chinese do have the weird start, so they have to be more tight with their build orders at the start. And this is a map that got quite popular lately in Red Bull Londinium, but that was in an Empire Wars format. These walls are placed, that's a weird gen, in a way that once they get destroyed, you cannot rebuild them. You have to build behind. I think this is unbuildable terrain. You start with those walls, but if you lose them, you can't build them back. And hello, Spaz, and hello, Otta. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm debuting tonight as an Specialist Cup caster. Of course, we have the Dravidians who have the bonuses for faster fishing with the villagers. It's not faster fishing, it is greater carry capacity. I'm here on board time. I was about to play grand finals. Ooh, good luck, good luck. Good luck on your grand finals. Is it Warlords? But my opponent does me for 5 months to evade me again, damn. And hello, yes, Spaz is playing Genbo, and we do have a subscription from Izari. Thank you very much. TheNando, Specialist of Non-Champion of the Casters. Super Idiot Cup 3. Okay, that's quite a name. Oh, it does have the banners here. I just noticed that the map keeps the banners. Wrong event. Zardas! Zardas! Sue them! They're putting their flag on your event. But thank you so much, Izari, for the subscription. It helps a lot. Now everyone is going to call out Zardas. Yeah, put your event in their flag. Yeah, so far Dravidians do have that peculiar start, and they can be quite aggressive early on with the bonus that they have from a lot of wood when aging up, and on top of that, their barracks upgrades are cheaper for some man-at-arms aggression. Chinese are the kings of versatility. I have seen in this player a lot of people arguing that, at least in Empire Wars format, defending this with galleys is the play to go for. I remember, I think it was Yo in an interview talking, I think it was Yo talking to Hera or something, saying that, oh, I played this map much better than Viper. No, I played this... Hera played this map poorly. No, Viper, I just played it worse. And we have a hype train, let's go, thank you very much. Thank you so much for the support, everyone. My second hype train ever. That was Yo Viper, yeah. It was Yo saying that Viper played horribly, but Yo played even worse. That's the quote. And we do see forward barracks from the Chinese. Andre adding barracks at home. It is the Dark Age. It is the age where we are free to yap, free to have conversation, because things are just warming up still. Chinese are the kings of versatility with cheaper techs. One of their advantages is also that the farms are better. That advantage is still present, but farming bonuses always become slightly less strong when there is water. Because it's not that they become weaker, they're equally strong, they just get diluted and kick off later. It's not in a meaningful way, but because there's water, the bonus isn't that strong, but we do see Running going for some man-at-arms. And on the other side, Andre is matching with his own man-at-arms. With these two seeds, face to face, none of the man-at-arms have any advantage. None of the militia will have any advantage. The Dravidians only have the cheaper upgrades. That is the main differentiating factor of these civs when it comes to this engagement. Running scout is lower on HP, so Andre can afford to take the engagement. Does spot the militia, and now they both probably know that it is militia versus militia. Running is the first one to click the man-at-arms upgrade. Andre is still on the way to Feudal Age, and Running will try to find this damage. This is 4 man-at-arms. That starts being quite a threatening number. And we do see he finds here the villagers, and there's no fishing ship, there's no garrison. 1 villager already down. And that's all that's happening here is timing differences. It's that faster age up from the Chinese, really fighting a lot of damage here. And he takes the fight. This is a great fight for Running, because his infantry is already upgraded. Superb value for Running. 2-0 on the KD. And forcing idle eco. Okay, now they can take fight. Is this a downhill? Seems very giddy, but Running does take the better engagement. The units were better positioned. Second dock is added. Behind this, Running adds a safety tower. And now pressures with these villagers. Another villager will fall. Doing whatever he can to keep the man-at-arms alive. Another engagement. Things are looking rough. Running 3-0 on the Eco KD. 4-0. Oof, back to 18 villagers. We have a demo ref, but the demo isn't fast enough. We have an archer now. And GG's called. This is not how I expected my casting of Specialist Cup 2 to start. Wow, things spiraled out of control so fast. And it was all that tiny difference of timing. It was Running being able to dictate the pace of the game because he was up to Feudal a little bit earlier, and with that advantage, he just pressured and snowballed a victory. He knew that, okay, the villagers are often forward here, I can punish that. Good game sense, extremely aggressive opening, but it paid off big time, and Andre does lose game number 1, and it is rough to lose a game like this. Because it's like, I didn't even get to warm up. My opponent is now extremely confident. You need to clear your mind and move on to game number 2. This is a play all 3. This is still the qualifier stage. If you lose, you're not kicked out of the Specialist Cup. You are still in a group stage, do not worry. And you are playing against Running. Let me update the overlay here. Have Glaces going for Running. And in terms of civs, we have the Chinese winning versus the Dravidians. Man, and the Chinese are just an all-around great civ. Let's move on to map number 2. We are probably going to move to Crownwood. I would go Magyars in Crownwood. And on the other side, I have no idea. Maybe Mapuche? Jurchens? I have no... Like, all 3 choices are so different that I have no idea which one I would go for. So let me load up the match. I'm also getting back into the groove of casting. Yeah, that demo there was really sad. No friends to fight. And we are back. Well, let me just update Running Scholar back to red, because blue versus purple is quite hard to read in the minimap and everything. Welcome back to display all 3. This is the Continental Warlord bracket of Zardos's Specialist Cup 2, the return. Specialist Cup 2 Electric Boogaloo. We have here in the red color Running, who is currently in the lead in display all 3. He's playing as the Mapuche here in Crownwood. On the left side of the map, we have Andre commanding the Magyars. Let's see how this goes. This is Crownwood. There's quite a lot of pieces of scattered wood on the top of these hills. They are kind of tricky to wall and easy to harass. This is an extremely open map because it forces you to expand those resources. I do wonder how aggressive will players be in Feudal Age? How much of a wall can they make? I mean, you can wall this map. And we have Mapuche on one of the sides, and that already makes me excited because these civs still feel extremely fresh in my eyes. I still like for example, the Jurchens, the Three Kingdom civs and everything already feel like, yeah, they are new, but they're old. They are not new. These civs still feel extremely new to me. And the Mapuche are the ones with the Bolas riders, yes. And the Kona, which are always funny as a Portuguese to say that unit name. Pássaro, Madrid, Malon. Bolas riders cost minus 15%. I mean, Bolas riders are, I think they're a counter to cavalry in particular. I think this is a good civ for running. I think running has the better draft here. Foragers top plus 20% food. So yeah, this is one of the civs that's good for a lot of berry action. And we do have the settlements. Lovely place for a settlement. You can get both wood and forage out of it. Of course, Magyars, even if they are counterpicked and everything, they are just a good civ. They're a staple. You have the extremely good scout line that's cheaper and has the blacksmith upgrades for free. So the timing is very ruthless and you don't even need to build a blacksmith to get those upgrades up and running. No pun intended of the name of running. And the late game from the Magyars, they have such mobility in a complete stack tree. Excellent CA, excellent hussars for raiding and everything, that they're just really powerful in late game. I don't know how strong Mapuche in particular are in late game. I know that a lot of the new civs from America can fall off a little bit in late game, but Mapuche with the Bolas riders, I feel like they are a very good unit for countering the Magyar late game option. Of course, nowadays Champis were nerfed and buffed and nerfed and buffed and nerfed. I think they are not broken, I hope. But things like Champy rushes and everything, I don't think we're going to see them. Without puns, you're not TheNando, that I know. What has the... E to the G, boys. Guess I just won a tournament. Congratulations, other one! Well played, well played. And you had it here first. While I was casting running versus Andre, I also casted Otter's match. Otter showed up, the opponent didn't show up, and GG. Yeah, I understand. I really don't like to win out of how do you say it in English? Forfeit. The opponent forfeiting the match and not showing up. Yeah, falta de competencia. Can the Mapuche can't garrison the settlements, right? That's settlements can train spearmen, line and skirmishers. Zigs are so much fun, and I practice for that final in both January and May now. Damn, yeah, that's rough. And we do see running is starting the walls and building some pikes, some spearmen out of the settlement. It's so weird. My mind is boggled by the spearmen being produced from the settlement. It doesn't feel like something that should happen. And we see Andre dropping a stable. Yep. Classical Magyar stuff already walling in as well. That's the thing. If you know how to wall and how to place your buildings, even a wall fragment like this makes your base a lot more secure. If you know the principles of walling and if you know how to organize your stuff, you can get a lot of value out of 2 or 3 well-placed buildings. Like, a lot of players will think, oh, I need to fully wall for this to be efficient. No, this is already making so that your opponent has to go through a lot of, at least your vision, and a lot of defensive buildings if they want to raid you. And of course, you're opening scouts, you want to be the aggressor, but having walled behind this just makes your life easier. And I think this is something that we see a lot in maps that are this far away. This is an open map, extremely open, but players spawn quite distant from each other, and that gives you enough time to usually get quite some solid early walls. And on top of that, running with already 3, 4 now, 5 men on the field, those scouts will need to be careful. Ooh, already navigating through the hairs and getting a little bit of a doinkage going on. 3, 4 scouts. 4 scouts with forging. Still dangerous to take a spearman with them. And hello, Creams, welcome on in. Welcome on in, fellow caster. Channel the enemy to where you want exactly. Funnel the enemy. Yeah, you cannot fight against 2. 2 spearmen will shred all of your scouts at this number. And already fully walled, even using the relic as part of the walls. So Andre won't find a lot of damage. None of them has moved to gold yet. It's still too early for that. But finding damage in Feudal Age seems like it's going to be hard. Something going to cast Spaz the Adventurer versus Genbo. Oh, they didn't upload their results, right? I was going to cast that. It's not on my list now for cast because I didn't see the results updated. And there's so many cool sets that if one stat requires me to do like 1 minute of work, I'm like, nah, I'm going to go for another one. Ooh, the scouts there taking some free damage. Oh, those spike also taking a little bit of free damage. Both players are sorry, I still have a little bit of cough. I do apologize for I don't like coughing or anything during my casts, but I'm doing my best. There's not a lot of action going on in Feudal Age. We are probably going to see people going through Castle Age. And what do the Magyars go for? Do you invest into some knights or do you transition right away into CA? Problem is transitioning to CA, your opponent transitions into the Bolas Riders. We see more scouts going down there. And running already clicking up to Castle Age. Such a fast timing. That's the thing, such good awareness to, okay, I'll just wall, build some settlements, don't even have a barracks yet because I don't need, I have all I need to defend produced out of the settlements. The more I'm watching Mapuche versus Magyars, the more I think Mapuche may be the best counter-sieve possible for the Magyars. The settlements producing pikes makes defense versus scouts so easy. And that's what I like casting players that are this high elo, is that when I'm casting lower elo, I'm teaching. When I'm casting my elo, we are exchanging ideas. When I'm casting higher elo, I am admiring and learning what they do. And sharing it with you guys, the viewers, of course. At 1 HP spearman, then the power of microing and not checking the villager HP. And these 2 minutes of timing difference for me, I don't think this is going to be a big rush out of running. Maybe I'm wrong though, because I was about to say, yeah, running will just boom behind and get a safe a safe castle age, but we already see 2 archery ranges, and we already see bolas on the way. Sharing is always the best, exactly. Yeah, we see the bolas riders, and I haven't seen enough of bolas riders to know how dominant they can be, how well they perform. We already see the university on the way, so I'm assuming they're a sieve that's very dependent, a unit that's very dependent on ballistics. And also because you're expecting CA out of the Magyars, and ballistics is super versus CA. And yeah, with micro, they should always take down those villagers. Bring the bolas at them. And we already see 4 on the field, we see armor on the way. The problem with playing any CA unit or CA adjacent comp is the transition. And that's what running got out of his faster castle age time. It wasn't okay, I'm going to be with 3 knights in your eco right away. No, it said, I'm going to go for a transition that is tricky, a transition that is associated with a power dip, and because I arrived to castle age so fast, you cannot punish my power dip. You cannot punish me during the timing of my transition. We do see Andre behind, adding 2 TCs while walled. So they are both clearly taking the role of aggressor and defender right here. The TCs will help with defending against the boluses as well. And we do see siege, I like that. I think that's probably the best defensive option. Your opponent is outmassing you, you need something to hold, to delay, something that can cause a lot of damage. And CG is the right choice. I also do enjoy out of Andre here the doubling up the wall with the houses, because you need time. Running, deciding what upgrades to get. He's quite powerful, but needs to cause damage. And it is, running is finding that damage. Oh, and we just see a Scorpion. How well do Scorpions perform versus bolas? Yeah, it's pierce damage, so they should perform okay. The villagers are all low, but still standing. Two more Scorpions on the way. Of course, one Scorpion is very easy to micro with CA. If it starts being 4 or 5, they will always win the engagements. They're also good versus the pikes. And they perform well in defending. And Andre is starting to get quite a boom. So, Andre only has quote-unquote one thing going for him, which is the boom. But that can be a win condition to outboom your opponent. Running only now adding the second DC. Both with, of course, as expected of DC low. They have very low idle DC time. Are the bolas slow the units like I think they slow cavalry. Don't quote me on that, but I think they slow cavalry units. I'm not sure. Do they slow villagers? I can check the stats. Oh. Yeah, 0.8. I don't think they are slowing down the villagers. Andre doing a good job with relocating his economy, keeping the villagers alive. Running now at the 30C, and that's the thing that running has going for him, is that running has full map control. Grab the... No, didn't grab the wall relic. That's one thing you can grab with map control, is the relics. You can grab outposts throughout the map. You can build good TC positions. And it is important when you're the one booming to keep adding more TCs. Right now your role is definitely the boomer. Your opponent matches you on 3 TCs and then adds more. They can start running away with the game. TC goes up right in the nick of time. Oh. Our villager still went down and the bullets didn't took a lot of damage there. So the bullets are alive still, but don't have a lot of angles to attack. Andre will expand a little, like right now. The less things happen at this moment, the better it is for Andre. The eco advantage, like having more villagers working, does not give you an immediate advantage. It makes you stronger over time. The longer you can stay with a stronger economy running, the better. Why do I keep saying running as in the verb? The longer you have your economy operational, the better it will be for you. I like this setting one scout forward just to check how things are on the other side, because you do not know what your opponent is doing. You may think, oh, I'm on 4 TCs, I'm booming, but okay, maybe the opponent is on 5. And sniping the monk with the cavalry, that's what's called value. Just one unit that goes forward and gains a monk, the nice relics, ruins the timings. Okay, now the scout did get eradicated there. And we do see a castle here to defend this forward TC. Defends the gold, defends the stone, and gives access to the Magyar Hussar, but also the castle upgrades. Carvinian army, not that important right now. Recurve bow, also not important for now, but can be extremely significant for the late game. It is funny, that's the important thing about respecting your opponent's unit comps. We see Magyars with 0 horses. Because Andre is respecting Running's unit choices. Yes, as Magyars you should be the horse lord, but if my opponent is playing the units that counter my horse lord plan, well then I need to adapt. And we do see Imperial Age already on the way. Running was faster to castle, it's now probably saw the score fluctuation, players often notice that at this elo, and clicks up to imp as well. We'll probably drop a castle, and we are going to progress into Trebward territory. The Bolus Riders stay active, try to snipe any villager they find. We see Balkanero, no, Fletching. That's still Fletching. On the way, we see gold mining upgrade, we see Imperial Age. How's the vision for both players? Yeah, both of them I have mostly vision on their base. Running did add some outposts. And now it's the forward castle with a little bit of heal. And that's a castle that wants to go towards the trap wars. Imp timings will be similar. We see all the archer upgrades on the way. And I was about to say that's CA transition, CA all already on the way. And I think these boluses would beat unbeaten unupgraded CA. When it comes to fully upgraded CA, I'm not sure how the boluses will perform. I do think the Mapuche can fall out quite a bit in the late game. We do see the deaths of the mangoes. Okay, if you're Andre, you're out of position, you are happy with that. Your mango was already doomed. You got a 1-for-1 trade. I'm happy if I'm Andre with that. Of course, happy is another player. We do see Bolus Riders here in the flank. Probably trying to find some damage here, trying to chip away at those villagers, but the Scorpion is here lying in wait. They take so little damage from the Bolus. We see chemistry, gold shaft mining, conscription. So the Magyars are moving freely into that late game. Ooh, is that the... Oh, Champy upgrades. Ooh, yeah, because Champy are like eagles. They do counter the archer units. Ooh. Yeah, here we see that it's not that linear yet who wins. I think later on, as Thumbring arrives, as Bloodlines arrives, I think the CA will be very comfortable with those fights. But not yet. And especially not with these numbers. That's a lot of Bolus Riders. Yeah, deleting the gate there was a good call just to make your retreat easier. Andre still has the advantage in working eco. That's 22 versus 18. And we do see that Passion Tactics or heavy CA on the way. Passion Tactics. Because of a performance issue with Capridge, I had to disable the tooltips showing up what the tech is. Husbandry on the way to aid with the micro. Yeah, and I think we are starting to reach the point where those CA will just win flat out. We do see the forward traps here. We have some trap wars. Andre already has 3 traps. But, I mean, targeting castles is easier than targeting traps. Both players using the market. We see heavy CA on the way. So Magyars are about to have a very nasty power spike. And losing those traps harms quite a bit. Maybe I was talking about how strong Mapuche are at countering the Magyars. Maybe they are not that powerful. They are good, but not that powerful, because now heavy CA is on the field. And we do see the force stack into skirms. Yeah, I think the CA are very happy with this trade here. We see the HP going down for the Bolus Riders at a rapid rate, and the CA are just flooding, winning with numbers. You now see Malon. Oh, Malon does change this quite a bit. The pass-through damage, if you don't micro this carefully, that's quite a power spike for this army. And we don't have a recurve bow yet from the Magyars, which will make these engagements a lot easier. Of course, this is a castle being trapped now. And I think if you're running, you do want to keep that castle alive, but you can't. I think building a defensive castle behind is better. Andre, though, is reaching the 200 pop position. This is such a different game from game number 1, and good medal out of Andre, who after losing a game like that, being able to now just have the recognition of, okay, let's delay the game, let's go late game, I win this late game. Yeah, this part of the game is extremely hard in terms of this. Yeah. There are players, and a lot of them, who either are heroes in Imp or just completely crumble. It's like a completely different game. And Felon, thank you very much for the sub. Hello, and congratulations on your performance on the Portuguese Go Open. Congratulations, Felon. Glad to have you here. Sadly, I'm sorry I couldn't make it there. I am still a little bit sick. But during the weekend, it was completely impossible. The number of skirmishers here... And now there's a pass-through damage, and that's such a different engagement now. Look at how fast they are losing HP. The pass-through damage is insane. What? And if you're Andre, maybe you don't know the Mapuche that well, you're like, what just changed? That was absurd. Thank you, Felon. That was absolutely absurd, that engagement. The CA just melted. I think they are still quote-unquote too new, the Mapuche and this upgrade, and Andre, it's one thing if you're fighting against like mangoes, you know you have to split and everything. I think Andre wasn't expecting that damage. Wow, 50 consecutive streams, Felon. That is absolutely insane. Thank you for the support. Let's see, does the pass-through damage work here with the villagers? Like, the units cannot clump up You need to be extremely careful. What? Oh, that's a Kona. Like, one tech shifted this game completely. I restate my statement that Mapuche are the best counter versus Magyars. I retracted that statement, now I reiterate it. Oh, that's interesting. I think it's my first time ever seeing this unit on the field, the Kona, which deals more damage the less HP the opponent has. I think that was the special mechanic of that unit. Yeah, we do see some scouts, but they just shred to the boluses. Like, the pass-through skirms are crazy. The damage there from each volley. Man, that castle is so important. But the villagers are conga lined. The castle does go up at last. At the end of the day, they are balanced. But now there's a push here with the 4 traps, and the thing is, they are balanced, but the Mapuche from running have such a huge amount of map control. And Andre has been in this corner for quite a while. He will run out of res. I want to check the res he has available, but right now I need to focus on this battle on screen. You have the trap wars, you have the scouts trying to snipe the threads, but the bolasses deal so much damage. The traps stand and they will retreat alive, and now the archers are more spread out this time around, so it's harder for the pass-through damage to be significant. We have some elite champion warriors now. They will be great at raiding the economy. We have some side pressure here as well with some Konas. But I think running has stabilized where it was most important for him. I think now it's very hard for Andre to find an angle to victory. And let's check the resources now that things stabilized. Have this 140 stone. And that's it. No gold access for Andre. He only has that stone and no gold. Then he needs to expand towards the rest of the map. He's moving towards trash units in recognition of that, but it's one thing if it's a trash war versus trash war, that's one game scenario. It's another scenario if your opponent has a lot of res still on the map, like this gold there, and you are forced to play trash, and this gold here. Better engagement now with the units all scattered. Will Andre be able to win a battle? He needs to. He cannot replenish a lot of those armies. OCA, you cannot kill them again now without gold. And they are so low HP. And the bolas do stand here in the back. They keep being alive. The CA are taking more and more damage, and I think once the CA fall, that army falls. The castle is taking quite a bit of damage, and the bolas riders are horrible versus the trebs. So probably castle number 2 going down for running there. It's so weird to see the bolas projectiles just flying around. And I think Andre is falling too low in military counts. The trebs now are trapping the trebs. You see the trap wars in full effect. So much back and forth with trebs so far, but now another trap gets sniped there, and those are very hard to replace. We have 2 traps, we have 21 heavy CA. Andre forced to use the market, selling stone even. But running can just get back into full fighting force. Can just rekindle his arm. Man, for a moment this really felt like it was Andre's game. But that engagement here before, once Malon got into effect was so important. Yeah, even wood will start running out. Scum are needed for Andre. Yeah. Scums for the bola, scums for the halves. Skirms for the skirms. But I mean, things now are rough. Andre is still in the game. But I think the more and more time passes, the more the lack of res. Like his wood lines, he does have a little bit of wood here and there. We have a big fight here. The winged hussars are coming downhill. Nice surround, nice engagement there. But we look at the top. Andre is just losing units. Losing the CA, losing a lot of cavalry to the bolasses. There's halves now in the mix who will perform great versus the... Man, such an unconventional yet powerful unit. Yeah, Mapuche. Clearly a sieve that you need to be careful about. 2P and Mapuche are two of the scariest sieves of the new DLC. We see traps falling, and remember, running can just replace his own traps. Andre can't, and running is victorious here. GG. This did feel like Andre's game at one point. He's still ahead in res collected. But that Mapuche late game, that engagement, and I feel like, because this was back and forth for a bit, I feel like that particular fight here in the middle of the game, if you are aware of how powerful that power spike is, you don't take that fight, and maybe you can keep snowballing your lead. I think that moment there... And hello, Kufu, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, this fight here, where all units are clumped up, I think this is what defines the game. Look at the HP, how fast it goes down. That was absolutely insane. Look at the nose. Brrr. Just going... That was an obscene fight. This engagement here is what defined this game at the end. GG. Well played. And now Andre has to play on his opponent hub map. He wants any hope to take one map out of running. Let me just check one thing real quick. And we also need to update the draft here. Wait, what did you just say, Krantost? Escaramuçadores reivindicado o seu título de unidades de contra-ataque. Wow, que incrível. Scrums claiming their title of counter units. Yeah, now we're moving to Val da Selva, one of the maps from Brazilian dynasties. And yeah, that's the cool thing. I'm one of the casters who can pronounce the names of the maps from Brazilian dynasties. This is Val da Selva, an estuary event that's going to happen in Brazil quite soon. And we had the Magyars falling against the Mapuche. And also remember, I think Mapuche were a great counterpick to the Magyars, but you do not know which sieve your opponent is going to pick. I think it was... it could be guessed, but sometimes there's mind games. Maybe Andre's like, oh, my opponent thinks I'm going to pick Magyars, so I'll pick something else. But running not only drafted a good sieve versus the Magyars, but also had presence of mind to pick it in the correct map. And now I think we are going to Val da Selva. Maybe Koreans versus Britons? I would like to see that. Goth. Let's see. Oh, I got it right. It is Koreans versus Britons. I think if you random into Goths, you don't want to pick them, probably. Vale da Selva. Let me just put running back into being red. Vivos Britannicus! Woo, Britons! Okay, let's go back into Capture Age. Welcome back everyone to this Play all 3. This is the Continental Warlord bracket of the Specialist Cup. And this map is Valda Selva. Players spawn quite close to each other with this road connecting them. On the southern left side of the map, we have running commanding the best civ in the game. It is the Britons. However, one of the best counters versus the Britons is the Koreans, and we have Andre here leading the Koreans. I'm a Briton player. I love the Britons. Britons are the best civ in the game. I hate playing against the Koreans with the Britons. Towers are great versus archers. Skirms are great versus archers. Koreans excel at both. And then even if you go for infantry, Koreans have good siege. It is a very tricky matchup to play. Britons versus Koreans. However, you can snowball things out of control with the Britons. I do wonder what kind of match we're going to see here. This is one of my first time... No, this is my first time ever casting Valda Selva. We see quite a lot of wood on each side. Gold and stone are scattered throughout the map. We see small tiles of gold next to each player's TCs. Running has a slightly better spawn. Yeah, very healthy wood lines in the flank. In terms of food, we see two tapirs, we see some neutral animals, we see some papaya trees, which are like the berry bushes. So it seems very standard style of map. I forgot that my set isn't until 23:59 GMT. Oh, I always do that as well, by the way. The 23:59 or 0001, because writing 0000 is so freaking ambiguous. It's like, is it the midnight of this day or that day? It is so confusing to use exact midnight times to schedule things. I always go 23:59 or 0001 for scheduling times.
Yay.
Yeah, Britons versus Koreans, of course. Britons, it's not only the archers, they can go for some full militia rushes, because they do gather food from the animals faster. They have cheaper TCs for booming. They are a really cool civ. Remember to hydrate. You see, okay, this map has... Okay, Britons are superb here. What? I didn't notice this in this map? What do you mean there's 2 million... There's 2 million neutral animals? That's... Britons love these animals. And there's 2 million of them. I didn't notice that. So Briton player will be very happy. And those weren't stolen. On the other side, there's quite a lot of animals as well. So just a whole bunch of neutral animals to start. And we see even more. Papaya fever. Yeah, there's even more scattered here. Yeah, there's so many capybaras everywhere. Britons are running is showing why he's one of the best players in Age of Empires. Every time I'm seeing one of the civs, the draft after it happens, it makes so much sense. Of course, I cannot be like, oh, I'm very wise caster. I've cast 1,000 matches in this map. I know this beforehand. This is my first ever set of Specialist Cup 2. And I'm already learning a lot and running. There's also another thing that comes into play here. Is that I've said this many times. We keep adding more and more civs into the game. There's currently 269 civs in Age of Empires 2. I mean, not that number, but there's a lot of them. And we only have 3 bans plus 1 snipe. So even if you ban strong civs, oh, I banned the Mongols, I banned the Persians, I banned the Chinese, for example. It's so easy to slip through. If you know 2 or 3 quote-unquote busted civs on each map, you get such an advantage. As a player, I examine every map to try to figure out what I want to play on any game. Oh, I also do that. When I played in tournaments, I had a list and I picked like my top 5 sieves for each map. And I put like a symbol behind or next to it, like a plus, 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 or plus, plus, plus. Like if number 1 and 2 are superb, they would be like plus, plus, plus. Then maybe number 3 sieve is meh, so it only has a single plus. And we do see, while I was discussing this, we see Andre going forward. But this wall, it is a small wall that makes such a difference. Makes it so that your opponent has to walk through your TC to attack. There is a gap here. The tars never run out of food on this map. Either true, but gathering food faster is stronger than not running out of food. It's even stronger. And I mean, Britons have superb castle age. Look at, like, it's absolutely insane. And he got so, like, Andre's already farming. While running has here enough food for castle age and almost for him as well if he wants. No, but at least for castle age and for the villagers that you need to build in the meanwhile. And of course, you see archery ranges. That's the strength and weakness of the Britons. The strength is that they have superb archers. The weakness is that your opponent knows you're going for archers. And Koreans do have amazing skirms. They are cheaper, and skirms need the armor upgrade. Well, Koreans have it for free. So, extremely efficient. Yay. You see those archers trying to get a little bit of action. Trying to get a little bit of information out of the map. Even checking if the opponent is building the skirms. So the archery range with a flag immediately walks back. You don't want to lose those archers, because in Castle Age they will become exponentially stronger. If you're playing archers, that's the #1 unit comp where preserving the HP of your units is paramount. It is vital. Fletching on the way. Man, the freaking capybara economy. This is such a good... when there were a lot of them, I should have taken a print screen to a shocked face like, oh, so many capybaras! How running broke this map versus Andre. Yeah, that's the thing. When you produce military, you want it to be efficient. Andre will have no angle to attack here. Just a few walls. This map is hard to fully wall, but with a good map spawn like Running Head, it is easy to get those partial walls down. And these 6 archers will be able to nullify a lot of pressure, and Running clicks up to Castle Age already. Andre is nowhere close to clicking up. And skirms counter archers, true, but elite skirms counter crossbows? Skirms do not counter crossbows that well. Even with a free armor upgrade, what the crossbows can get, Vulcan arrow and everything, they're an extremely powerful unit. And these are Britons, they will have crazy range. So even against elite skirms, they are not horrible with proper micro, but they will just have good engagements here. Of course, #1 thing is keeping them alive. You don't want to lose archers, because archers are not that good, but they are potential crossbows, and potential crossbows are extremely strong. I do wonder if we are going to see an early university. We saw Running heading quite an early university with the Bolus Riders. I love early university play. I'm a huge defender of universities before even sometimes the TCs. And I wonder if we'll see that again, just for the double slam of pressure with these crossbows. Booming is also an option with the Britons. He didn't sell the phone this time around, so he can just add 2 TCs. But Andre hasn't clicked up yet. The difference here in timing will be crazy. We see crossbow on the way. We see a Knight. Horse armor is a misclick. Oh, true. We did see horse armor going up. Probably a misclick. I don't... Even with the knight, I don't think you click it. But maybe... Could be a nice surprise. I would rather see, instead of the stables, now we see market, I would rather see a university and ballistics, to be honest. I think if these got ballistics, they would just melt everything here. I mean, pros are also better at dodging ballistics. Nice volleys there out of the skirms. We see a siege workshop now. And that will help you pile the pressure. Will help you build crossbows to... Not crossbows, mangoes to pressure the DC. We see 2 knights on the field. Maybe we'll see a monastery next to add some monks to heal your knights. No extra TC yet. We see running, going full on aggression, and add some battery rams. Would start attacking these villager buildings, taking down the market, taking out the archery ranges. And we do see that with the one single armor upgrade, those knights are extremely powerful at taking the skirm shots. I wonder if that was actually intentional. However, Koreans, once they age up, they have automatic power spike. You don't need to research text. You already get armor for free, and your towers also upgrade for free instantly. The instantly part is also significant. Running is behind on wheels. Pressing the archery range, that's great, a great target for the siege rams. Adds another market for walling. Could have been a university. It's slightly more expensive though. Now we see a mango to support the battering ram. I do like the battering ram first, mango second approach. And we do see, yeah, those skirms are about to be fully upgraded. Once they are, only the mango can face them. These archers will not have a good time. We do see the expansion with the TC here on the Golden Wood. Nice TC placement. That's what map advantages. University would have denied a siege push. Oh, we do see a siege workshop. And the market was cancelled there. Okay, that mangonel versus skirms, that's a tricky one. With proper micro, those skirms can perform quite well versus the mango, but when there's 2 mangoes, that becomes way harder. We see running now, adding more eco upgrades. The battery ram is very happy to soak some of that damage. Yeah, those volleys hurt the mangoes. And we do see rocket carts to help deal with the mangoes. Firing some of those fireworks. So now this is a micro war. Ooh, nice target there out of Andre. There's some pressure here, but the knights aren't achieving much. Ideally, they would love to snipe that rocket cart. Ooh. Oh, yeah, this game is a main event, and the reason I suggested it. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, it has Britain Zardas. Of course, it's a good game. Oh, 1-for-1 trade. Ooh, nice splits there out of Andre. That could have been nasty. Ooh, nice ground target out of running there. Now there's 2 mangoes. It's way harder to micro versus 2. Rocket carts have the same range as mangoes. They are just they feel different. Mangoes have more AoE. Mangoes have like more of an instant damage, while rocket cart is a little bit over time. They are even, but they feel different. And hello, Josh. It's Josh. Britons look to be the best pick on Valda Selva, don't they? Yeah, I agree. Britons, the start is amazing. Okay, please. That's hard. When it's two mangoes... Yeah, the sheep slash capybara situation is insane for the start, for the Britain start. Andre is defending this well, but that's a lot of mangoes. I wonder if running, if he went for the Britain power spike, like university, full archer upgrades, and even second archery range. Because he had such a strong window, like right now the archers are useless. I wonder if he should have pushed that window further. Ooh, nice shot there. Ooh! Nice value still from the... Oh! This is so anxiety-inducing if I'm one of these players. Nice shots out of Andre there. Andre doing a superb job with microing these skirms. These skirms are doing amazing at defending. Mangoes counter skirms, by the way. If you're watching this, it may not seem as they do, but mangoes do counter skirms. And the KD is in favor for running, but a lot of the units that running is losing are mangoes. Mangoes are expensive. I would have fallen apart in 30 seconds. Yeah, me? Why do you think I'm a caster and not a player? Nice micro there. Ooh, that was the biggest misstep we've seen out of Andre so far. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You see one mango who is quite low, and that's where you lose a lot of your advantage. It's like, just one more volley, and then your opponent can exploit that. We see Monastery on the way, so can start converting that map advantage into grabbing some relics or adding some monks into the field. Britain monks are not the best. They do not have redemption exactly, but I mean they will heal your units. Ooh, the rocket cards are also big. That's good micro, but also sometimes a little bit of luck. How many rocket cards have we been seen surviving with 1 HP? That's crazy. 1 HP and a dream. And of course, Koreans have a superb late game. The Koreans have bombard cannons. That's important here. They do. Because Britons don't. They rely on the Warwolf threads. They are powerful, but depending on the matchup, they can fall apart quite quickly if you don't have time to transition into having a good number of them. Another mango goes down for the rocket cards. Another mango goes down. That monk will not be happy to see those skirms going forward. Oh, they target a villager. And now they're surrounded by knights. The knights are putting in quite a lot of value. But the rocket cards, I prefer microing rocket cards over mangoes. You see some Korean CA here to help support. And this is a full tech switch into CA. 8 CA are on the way. This map can be quite open, both at the university at the same time. Both investing the education of their kingdoms. The CA will be better at microing versus the mangoes. We do see a little bit of a dance there. Lurk, have a great scene. Thank you, Felon. And I will talk to you later in private because I want to ask you how things went and everything. Yeah, I am very sorry that I didn't have the chance to meet you, Felon. That was one of the... I was heartbroken for missing the open, but not being able to play with you, Felon, is one of the reasons why it was so rough for me to not go. I wanted to go. But sometimes you take a decision like, oh, I'm too sick, I won't go. And then the next day you feel better and you think, oh, maybe I should have gone. The particular day after, like Saturday, the day that would have been after the trip, I felt so sick that I was like, oof. I made the right call in not going. I really felt that. See those Britain archers with crazy range? Britain archers are great versus CA. The crazy range makes it easier to reach them. There is quite a lot of vulnerable abilities though. Running was always being the attacker, and usually when you are always the attacker, you can forego some of your own defenses. Yeah, I was definitely forward to see you and play you, but health is more important. True, true, true. We'll have other chances. This is rough, but we'll have other chances for sure. Don't know when. But... oh, CA run under a TC. That's the thing. That TC is well placed because your opponent is not expecting a TC there. And with ballistics, that's so many CA going down. Andre only has 7 military units. 3 TCs versus 3 TCs, but Andre is in a rough position. Man, the thing about good players like running is that they are so like they are so good. I realize I just said absolutely nothing, but it is true. When you see players like even just 500 elo below, 600 elo, there's so many mistakes that define the games. Here the amount of mistakes is so minimal that the game feels like a completely different game when it's played at this level compared to low and mid-elo Age of Empires. We see another defensive tower. Those towers will counter the mangoes. They have crazy range and they will get upgraded. Andre though, he is very close to clicking up to Imp. That's the main advantage that Andre has right now. On the way to Imp, that's free, another free archer armor, and that's free tower upgrades, and he's already thinking about that. He's like, okay, this is an open map. I'm going to start conquering the map with my towers. You have archers with a lot of range. Well, I have towers with even more range, maybe. If it's not more range, it's at least a lot of range as well. And a lot of gold in the bank and no castles. That's clear. I was about to say, he clearly just wants to place towers and no castles. He needs a castle for Yeopyeong. So it makes sense. And Shinkichon, sorry about my pronunciation, will also be a good tech for this matchup. Yeah, but at least one tower for Yeopyeong. Korean late game is extremely tricky to play against. I think in the late game, I do prefer Koreans slightly over Britons. I think Britons can excel against some Civs in the late game. Koreans are not one of them. And we do see another 1-for-1 trade. And running hasn't clicked up yet. So the difference in timing is going to be huge. And those towers will get upgraded, so you don't want to lose those skirms. You don't have a lot of army, so you need to keep it alive. You need to keep that presence on the field. Losing the university is kind of rough. Universities are expensive, and they give you access to a lot of cool techs. And now we see the keep is up with already 10 range. Oh, nice rocket cart positioning there. And nice repairs there. We see Vulcan Arrow, not Vulcan, Thumb Ring and Chemistry on the way, Conscription, upgrading those skirms to the max, and also increasing the efficiency of those towers. The more CA there, CA will also get stronger. That's the thing, he's playing 4 or 5 different things. The rocket cars also get upgraded with chemistry. Extremely efficient upgrades. Each upgrade is benefiting in so many different dimensions. That's why a lot of pro players say that you should always get fletching, even if you're not playing archers, because you're upgrading your towers, you're upgrading DC damage. Some of the best upgrades are the archer damage upgrades, and if your comp is already leaning into that, that's superb for you. Rest collected are quite even. Andre is slightly behind in build numbers, but has a safer base. And we do see another keep gets added. How much does Yeopyeong cost? I can't check it with the thing disabled. infantry. Maybe some... Nah, Fire Lancers make no sense, I think, here. Or do they? No, I think just regular infantry would be better, but I wonder what's the play. And we do see Yupseong on the way. So those towers are about to have crazy range. We do see a lot of AV's Fire Lancer play. Okay. I was just a bit unsure about how Fire Lancers perform against archers. You're playing against Britons, archers will be a thing for sure. And now those skips have 13 range. They have 3 more range than a castle. You're firing freaking ICBMs. Those skips. And yeah, that's the thing also. Not having access to bombard cannons. You take down your opponent's castle. He cannot produce anything that will target your own traps in terms of range. Chemistry on the way for running. This castle is going to crumble. Taking into scouts though, Britons don't have the best scouts in the game. But I mean, you are taking into what counters your opponent's unit comp. The towers, oh, a nice quick walls there out of Andre just to buy a little bit more time. Wants to take down the castle real bad, and just one more volley, the castle will go down. At the price of 2 traps. Clears down one of the towers. The thing about towers is that they often just stay up, and that's why you go for Fire Lancers. They also counter the light cav, which were the counter to your skirms. I haven't played that, and hello, Risen Dragon Gaming, welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful time and hope you're enjoying your participation in the Specialist Cup. Running does have the army lead, so we'll win these battles. Andre repairing these keeps, trying to keep them alive, adding more military production. The archers are just so powerful against the infantry. Briton archers are a great unit. Koreans have a great late game. And running does have the best eco setup. Andre has been more contained in the map and tried to expand, but was also more in a tug-of-war situation. Running has the best map layout right now. Scattered DCs throughout all the eco. We do see here the scouts try to go for some raids. The keep helps defend, but the scouts will still fight some damage. More raids here. Yeah, a lot of these late games, like imp style of games, can be defined through raiding. And we do see a defensive castle here. Towers are good, but a castle is a castle. Only one relic for each player still. The game has been so chaotic. Did you just hear my Discord, or was that just my brain? Because my Discord shouldn't be making sounds, and if it is, there's something wrong with it. I think it is, and I think I fixed it now. I do apologize. Sorry. Lack of professionalism out of me. That shouldn't happen. It is fixed now. Sorry for triggering you all. I do apologize. But yeah, but Britons now have ARB. They can soon... I mean, Warwolf and Yeoman are good upgrades, but I think there's other priorities. We do see Warwolf on the way for the Trap Wars. Is that all of Andre's gold access for now? I think it is. So this is a repeat of game 1, in the sense that Andre is being starved out of resources because of Running's superior map control for longer. It's a repeat of game 2, how the game 2 was decided. And yeah, it does make sense. I was thinking about, oh yeah, Elite Fire Lancers, they are a gold unit, your main comp is being skirms. you need a gold unit to complement it, so I do prefer the... And so we do see a capped ram rush. Freaking capped ram train. I wonder how that's going to perform. I mean, you want to... But the micro is tricky. Yeah, I think that's cute, but too hard to execute in a meaningful manner. You want to keep those fire lancers alive from the arbs. But the micro of getting them in and out of the rams is a bit iffy. I think that's what's harming Andre here. If it was easier to just... Like, you see Hera doing it, or someone like that, it seems so easy to just pop in and out units. Those are werewolf traps now. They will melt enemy traps in seconds. Gambason's on the way for running. Game is kind of in a stalemate now. And stalemate is bad for Andre just for lack of resources. Running is getting enough rest to drop even another castle. Running just has the best map layout, map control and everything. Andre is more confined. Compare map vision. This is what Andre sees. Oh, damn, that freaking range. I mean, not that great because of the vision on those towers, but and those archers just safe in the back. A steady line of damage. Already have 46 kills, each volley is another kill. And if people micro them correctly, just okay, just back away. I replenish my light cav, they are my meat shield. And each volley I'm finding more and more damage. We see the tech into Britain longswords. Castle beats tower. Pick running at that castle later. We see Andre expanding to these resources here. And going for some light cav raids. And let's see if he really wants to take down this castle and take down the traps and everything. But each one of these engagements, the archers are always staying alive. Both players have quite a lot of res in the bank, especially Andre. Lacking a bit of gold in his bank, but a lot of res for trash units. The rams will reach the traps though. Is this the push that can do it? Garrison the castle pops out on the other side. That castle is surrounded by rams. And it crumbles. And now Andre can find damage here in Running's economy. Also claim this gold here exactly when he needed it. We do see two-handed swordsmen now. They will counter both the fire lancers and the elite skirms. It's a great transition out of running. And they are already on the field. Classic Britain Sanctuary ambush. So true. Adds a forward keep here, and that's the thing you want to do with the Koreans. You want to creep those keeps forward. You want to expand that advantage, conquer more and more of the map. Those archers, though, doing amazing damage. Those arbs at keeping the numbers down. And those champions, or two-handed swordsmen, are soaking so much damage. They are helping these arbs stay alive. Andre should add a little bit more villagers, I think. Where is he losing villagers? And now Champion is on the way to make these two-handed swordsmen even stronger. Running doesn't have a lot of gold though. If he loses these arbs, but that's a big if, could be in a bit of trouble. And the Arbs always focusing the good targets, always focusing the fire lancers. All the Arbs are being forced a little bit out of position. They just run into melee range, so they can't be targeted by the skirms. This could be a lot of Arbs going down here. I think Andre, dancing around there, finally got a superb engagement. And dealing with those Arbs is big because those are harder to replace. Running now wants to take back those resources because running will also run out of resources. Okay, still has this here and this here. These two are the most important points of the game right now. In terms of relics, Andre is also winning in relics. If this goes super late game, as it is going, that's a great advantage for Andre. He needs an answer to the champions though. Does he have an answer to the champions or just keeps the skirms alive? We see some more raids here. Like that castle there was such a good call. Identifying this as your big vulnerability in your economy and just adding a castle instead of tower there was a great call. And skirms deal such a small amount of damage to the... Yeah, the traps here get taken down by some fire lancers. Andre is securing this economy, one of the most valuable positions in the game. There's still this juicy gold here. That juicy gold is extremely important. Andre is maxed out in terms of pop. He should fight. When you're maxed out, you should fight. We do see probably some light cap to go for his own counter raids. The problem is that both champions slow down so much of Andre's pressure. Koreans don't have... no, they do have hand cannoneers. I mean, the Arbs... Those freaking Arbs with infinite range are super versus the hand cannoneers. I think the micro would probably be a bit too much, a bit too hard. I think it would be very easy for the Britons to just snipe your hand cannoneers. And it's better to just, okay, I'm going to tickle your champions to death with my skirms. It's not ideal, but I think it is. Sometimes the not ideal option is still the best one. Who is going to win this? At this point in time, I'm still not sure who the skirms there walk into a storm of champions. But we see Korean Hussars now going for some raids and running. Once again has been the player that was most of the game attacking. He's not ready to be raided. And this can be the decider. These Hussars here, these two Hussars can decide the game. I'll keep an eye on them. We have here the damage dealt counter. While all of this is happening, if those Hussars... Now they have two more friends. Will Andre win the game? Okay, now there's more Hussars on the field. I think this may be exactly what he needed to break the stalemate. Now you're forced to take worse engagements with the champions because you have pressure. You're like, oh no, my economy is all crumbling. This is so much damage. The economy is not well protected at all. 9 kills on these Hussars already. And the units on the other side, because he's panicking on the defense, they are being microed worse. They are going under the TCs. He's forced to bring some units back. Andre with some superb raids, and that's the thing. Andre's base was more compact, so harder to raid. Yes, running got a lot of the map under his control. That means his base is also more open, and throughout these battles, Andre took down castles. Andre dwindled down running static defenses. And that's what makes it so that he paved the way to make these raids so efficient. And now he finds here the juicy targets. This is the backbone of the economy. All of this golden stone are so important. See more raids, yeah, non-stop raids on all sides. The main army is a little bit inactive now. We even see a desperation castle here. Like, okay, this economy is way too important. I can't keep these raids going, but now there's raids on this side as well behind the castle. You do see the villagers evacuating. Good reaction there. I would love for this castle to be even more here. I mean, these resources are running out though. Another raid here. And in these raids, this is a war of attrition. You want to reach a certain amount of critical damage. You want to make it so that your opponent starts struggling to replenish the villagers they lost. And look at how much of the eco is idle right now for running. Not a lot of villagers working. We could start reaching that criticality where running can't do anything but defend, and we'll start reaching a point where he can't replenish his own military or economy. Let's see how the game evolves. With the hussars, that's the thing. If they find enemy units, they will melt in seconds. That's so many. Almost 4,000 HP of champions. That's so many champions. Do you just walk in with all of them and start melt castle, melt DC? I wonder if you go all in with 60 freaking champions. I mean, probably not. And especially not with this little in the bank. If you have enough bank to just replenish anything, just go for the YOLO attacks. These res right now are not being claimed by anyone. Gold? How much gold is left on the entire map on here, Val da Serra? 400 stone, 1700 gold, and 3 relics for Andre at the end of it all. There's still one unclaimed relic there in the north. Andre doesn't see it. None of them sees the relics. Oh no, Running does see the relic. But Andre not seeing that relic probably assumes Running has it. Oh, conscription just getting in now. For Running, that's an important tech. Making your production faster. The thing is, the game is descending into a trash war, and because of all of this wood here in the back, they can stay at the trash war for quite a while. I much prefer the Koreans in a trash war. Koreans are one of the best trash units, trash teams in the game. But I mean, that's quite an army here. For Running, this can be one battle to decide the game. If you're under, you need to keep going back. You can't take these fights head on. You need to be careful. You need to do trickle damage to your opponent, and that's what he's doing. Keeps going back. Running's numbers are starting to fall down. Andre should not commit the scums to a fight. Just keep running away, even getting guilds now for better market prices. And those traps there are so valuable. Those are built using some of the last gold of the map. And those units are not finding a lot of value because of Andre's retreat, and now the traps are exposed there. That castle is a great target because it exposes so much of your opponent's economy. But Andre just bounces on with the Asas. One trap down. Ooh, 2 traps down. And now just one trap will not have a good time versus that castle. We see there's so many targets for the champions. Targeting the buildings. That keep there is doing so much trickle damage over time. And this was a lot of gold, yes. Champions are cheap in gold, but they still cost gold. We're at the 600 mark in terms of gold. Those traps were way more expensive in terms of gold, and Andre is still standing. He's going for the trap once again. Running realizes, placing the units around the trap for the defense. Snipes this trap now. With a little bit of a wonky micro there. The trap will stay up, and the castle is getting quite low. Can running actually win this in this push? Can running take it home with this? Can this push break Andre's defense? The light cav are now targeting eco, and Andre has no eco to replenish his eco. Will the skills tip in running's favor? Will his perseverance here keep going forward, keep throwing these units at the meat grinder? Will he win before the map runs out of gold? Andre is down to 70 villagers. The last trickles of gold of the map are being put great use by running. Andre is now down to 140 villagers. I think Andre is breaking. I think running somehow in his what was probably his last great push. He could not replenish this push anytime soon. This was his last chance to cause significant damage, and he did cause that significant damage. I think Andre can recover from this. Down to 120 villagers with this little in the bank. There's no stone in the map. There's no gold in the map. Literally no. Just farms and 140 food, maybe in Hidden Capybara or a berry bush somewhere. We do see hand cannoneers now. Oh yeah, now that you do not have access to gold, true, but now that the ARVs were removed from the equation, that is clearly the correct unit. I was so focused, and I got into the players' brains, because I think taking a step back and adding those hand cannoneers a bit earlier would have been game changer. But you're so focused on surviving what's happening right in front of your face that you do not have time to think of these transitions, and sometimes you don't even have eco. Of course, the light cav can bounce on the hand cannoneers and you cannot replenish them. They are so expensive at this stage of the game. The 3 relics do help a little bit, and they do stay alive. Those 3 traps take down this castle now, and GG is called. Andre lost all. What a game. What a game number 3. Running won this 3-0, but Andre played this extremely well, particularly this last game. Running just played even better. GG. GG. Very well played. Let's go back to this mode. Let me just take care of one thing here. Real quick. And GG is called. Let me go back to... No, I'm already back in captain's mode. Let me update the things over here. We had 3-0 for running. What a superb performance. And what a superb thief draft as well. Koreans do counter the Britons in my opinion, but the Britons having that superb presence in this map. Great opening. And now I'm going to be 100% honest with you all, because I'm an honest person. I had planned to cast 4 sets. I have them here, all things prepared, all the setup done. But I clearly feel that my voice is still not 100%. And I feel like I would not be able to endure another set. This was a long one, true, but I don't feel powerful enough. I want to, I desire to. I want to cast more, especially because my next stream is going to be 2 weeks from now. But I feel like I'm recovering, but I'm not 100% yet. So I will have to call it for today. I had a blast with this set. As I said, I had more planned to cover, and I think the Specialist Cup, shout out to Zardas, is lining up to be a superb event, and shout out to Kufu as well. I know that they're casting Specialist Cup as well. I think, if I'm misspeaking, I mean, I'm saying shout out. I can literally give you a shout out. Let me just first take care of one thing here behind the scenes. Just make sure you're healthy. Exactly. I'll do the opposite of like in TTLC. I was healthy in the rounds and then it reached the grand finals and I was like, I can't cover grand finals. I'll only cover T90. Here, the opposite will happen. My health is not 100% for the qualifiers. Once we reach the knockouts, hopefully I can cast a lot more. And yes, health is always the number one thing. And I do thank you, everyone who supported today. Fallon and Nizari, thank you so much for subscribing as well. The financial support does make a huge difference. Also, Greg and Johnny on YouTube, members with the highest tier. That also is I stream because I like it, because of the human side, but monetary incentives are also important and welcome. Ooh, and I was like, oh, who am I going to raid? Well, let me first do my shout out to Kufu, fellow caster here. And let me just wait a little bit for the shout out to go, and then I know who we are going to raid. Addictive Me is live. He's also casting this event. I will send you over to Addictive Me. Bombito versus Shikso in the Nomad bracket. Oh, that also seems like an interesting bracket, but my allegiance clearly lies in the Continental bracket. Really had fun today casting also with the maps as well. I like when you are reaching the end of an event, you're tired of the maps. I like all 3 maps. I like Glacis, Valda Selva, and Crownwood. And it was a good change and they are good maps. I can't wait to see some of the others. I love Desert Void. I see it there. Spiral. Sunburn. Boulder Forest depends on the game. But yes, I'm going to raid Addictive Me. Thank you for everyone who joined today. Hopefully 2 weeks from now I'll be on peak health and with a better voice. Thank you everyone. Hope you have a great time. Remember to rest. Remember to take time to enjoy the things that you enjoy, be it Age of Empires, be it your hobbies. Always important to enjoy things at your own time, and I hope you enjoyed the stream today, and hope to see you in the next one, probably 2 weeks from now. Bye bye, and have a great one, y'all.